So the streets are talking, Victor.
Hey,
get him, Daddy.
Don't you walk on me.
It was great. I mean, it was a good ride there, and it was a good thing that we had going for a while. And, you know, I'm not quite sure what they're up to now as a publication or as far as productions go, but I'm sure they're doing their thing. But it ended up being like just like a good opportunity and just like a good time. I mean, heck, it probably would have been better a couple of years, maybe a year before, but my contract I wasn't trying to lead my contract and that's, you know, I was set up to, but it gave me time to build my, you know, I moved up to Connecticut on the coast there on the border of Rhode Island, and it you know, it was just a good timing wise for me to start my own stuff.
By the way, speaking of Rhode Island, my buddy Pete says hi. He said you go to his restaurant. I think it's called High Hope Tavern.
Oh, yeah. Your buddy is Pete?
Yeah. Pete's been in the clubs. He's like, he was one of like the first 7 people that was in the club. So he's been down for 11 years. So.
Oh, wow. Cool.
Yeah. Going into year 11 over here. It's pretty crazy. But,
oh, right on, man. Yeah, Pete's a good dude. High Hope over in Westerly. Awesome restaurant. Yeah, hopefully we're going to do a little fishing this summer, too. I know he's really into throwing the flies.
How's everything been since you switched over to YouTube? Have you been loving it? Have there been more challenges? What's the crossover been like?
Well, yeah. Well, I've always been kind of doing the YouTube thing, but kind of now just in the past, you know, going on 4 years, 3 years, 3.5, 4 years or something. It's just going out on my own YouTube platform, which has been great, man. I mean, it's a lot different than working for a huge company who controls everything and owns everything and also, you know, pays for everything.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's like a double-edged sword. And if, you know, hey, listen, I don't know, like I could have, it's just the way it kind of unfolded. And, you know, and in the way that getting into your own productions, it's one of those, it's like any kind of business, right? At the end of the day, that's what it is. It's a creative, entrepreneurship of media. You know, instead of being a plumber, I make YouTube videos, you know, I guess.
Yeah. So how big is your team right now? Do you have like an editor? You have a camera guy? I mean, how many people are working on the show at one time? Hey, anglers, ever wish that you had a crew that's just as obsessed with fishing as you are? Well, now's your chance to join the Brooklyn Fishing Club. For just $25 a month, you'll get access to invite-only club events, online seminars with special guests, and exclusive fishing info that you won't find anywhere else. And did we mention the perks? You'll get a free t-shirt when you join, 20% off everything in the shop, and access to our private Facebook group and online forum. Plus, members get the inside scoop on our VIP destination trips, the kind of bucket list fishing experiences that you won't want to miss. Best part, you can cancel at any time, but trust me, you won't want to. Join now at brooklynfishingclub.com and level up your fishing game today.
Yeah, so it's been pretty, I mean, yeah, we got a pretty good team. Like, you know, I got my manager, Carolyn, she's been with me since Condé Nast. She was also a Condé employee, and she just does a great job with me, just handling relationships and business. And she's just, you know, she always comes, you know, she's just been a good manager and helping out with just logistics and, you know, I'm sure even responsibilities outside of what a traditional manager does. But, you know, she's been a pivotal part of the team for sure. And then we got Ian DeVoe from Rhode Island. He's old Billy himself. He's the cameraman extraordinaire. Yeah, he's great, man. And again, I met him on another shoot where I don't even think he really did video, to be honest. I think I kind of got him into doing video. But just a really great dude, and who, you know, he does a lot. I think he was mostly a stills photographer before we started working together. But yeah, just a really awesome guy. Lives, you know, relatively close here in Rhode Island. Yeah, just been a blast to travel with and work with. And yeah, he's still with me, and he's turned into a pretty awesome video guy. And then yeah, we got a couple editors. You know, we got Blake Thompson. Thompson's his last name. Sorry, Blake. Out in where the hell is he in Washington? But he used to be in LA. He's like a big beautiful tall man, looks like a Viking Fabio type of deal, or Italian Fabio, dark hair. But a really talented editor, and he's been great, man. This lady Hobson, she started with us in the beginning to help kind of. She was certainly just recently just kind of parted ways with Hobson, but she was the main editor for both the shows for a while before Blake came on for making it. And then who the heck else we got, man? Just a couple other freelance people, and I don't think I forgot. Yeah, it's just a bunch of folks we kind of plug and play a bit. But it's been awesome, man. It's been a really good ride, and like I said, kind of once you into a place where I feel like not everyone, but a lot of folks are certainly trying to, it's a big table of media, and a lot of folks are certainly doing it and doing it well. But at the same point, I think there are a lot of, you're gonna have to be good to stick out a little bit, or at least come. I got lucky a bit with a following that I built with Bon Appetit, and it kind of rolled over and it kind of translated pretty well. But like starting from fresh right now, if not that I'm wildly popular too much, but if no one in the world knew who I was and I wanted to just start a YouTube thing about cooking or travel or fishing, like better be something cool going on, and you better be good at it. There's a lot of good people, and everyone's got a phone, and technology has really made it. Again, everything's like a double-edged sword, it seems, but like technology, and I just look at it in a positive way. I mean, I think it's great. More the merrier, and more talent the better. It just keeps kind of everything going, right? But and the technology is so awesome now. There's so many talented people, and just when we were, I don't know how old you are, but like I'm not that. I'll be 40 next month. Like when I was a kid, there wasn't podcasts or YouTube or social media, or no one was like it wasn't. You couldn't like do it for. No one was like, what I'm saying. You couldn't even make money off it. It didn't exist yet.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of hard to. Who knows how that would have shaped out? It's a pretty cool time to be able to, even pre-internet for that matter, right? Like it. But now, I mean, like, man, with the technology and the accessibility, if you're hungry enough, man, talent can certainly be developed and grown. I mean, I'm a good point in fact of that. But yeah, pretty cool time to get into it, I guess.
Definitely. Have you found any challenges or difficulties in terms of going to a place to shoot an episode and not getting the content that you were hoping for?
I mean, every time you shoot something, I mean, I got 2 shows on YouTube now, and one's called Local Legends, and the other's called Making It. Local Legends is like a travel show, like a travel based. It's never, we don't do it at my house, so it's like we go around, and it's like character driven, but with that comes people's passions and stories and adventure and all the things of traveling to different places. Not always tied into food. It could be anything from music to, we went to Ireland, did a sheepdog, and, but I like to cover food as well, and farming and agriculture. And so really anything, man, a lot of fishing. And then Making It is the other show where it's, that's the food-based one. It goes on the road when it makes sense to, or when I'm on the road, but it's really shot at my house or at other people's places, but mostly at my house, just food, experiments, fermentation, taking things that we've learned from the other show and bringing it back and cook with it, and just an overall good time.
How was that trip to Ireland?
Well, but what was your question now? Sorry.
Oh, no, just like challenges in getting content. Like I know, when you travel to a place, you have a set goal. Like let's say you're going to a place to go fishing, for example, like probably going there to target a certain kind of fish, a certain way to fish for them.
Yeah, I mean, I think
it doesn't always come together. Sometimes you have to audible, you have to make a different play up. So
yeah, I mean, I guess that's always the factor. It's just now I'm responsible for paying for it all and juggling it all and producing it all, right? Instead of just being a talent, so to say. When I was working with Bon Appetit. But yeah, I guess challenges. Yeah, I mean, every single shoot, it's like going fishing, or anything in life. You can plan it, and you can plan a lot of it, right? But like certainly weather, and if you're now factoring in catching or killing something, hunting or fishing for that matter. I mean, I don't care how much money you have, it's only, you can't, unless you're cheating, I don't, or in Texas, I don't know if you can always like guarantee things, you know what I mean? I know you can't. And weather, you can't buy it, you can plan everything 6 months out, but great if it's, blowing 30 and raining.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
So when it comes to the outdoor stuff, oh yeah, it's a major challenge. gotten extremely lucky. I mean, gotten bit a couple times, I guess, but nothing. Man, I don't even knock on wood, but like nothing. Haven't really gotten fucked yet. I don't think. Maybe I don't remember. But
Maybe I don't remember.
well, I mean, you kind of have to have a little bit of a. I mean, I guess I've canceled things, where it's like for sure, actually, where we was gonna go. We were going spearfishing. I think it was Local Legends, maybe season 2. Yeah, I believe it was season 2, season 1. I don't remember, but it was with Maddie Matheson, our good old Canadian sensation buddy and pal. We brought him spearfishing up in Boston for Tog, and the conditions were not ideal. It was choppy. The sea was all kind of murked out. It rained like fucking three. Sorry, I don't know if it's a cursing show, but it rained like hell.
No, you can say whatever you want. It's cool.
It rained like 3 days and like inches of rain like the day before. So it was just like you couldn't see, your fins. You know what I mean? And it was Maddie's first time.
Oh, yeah, and that's no bueno. No.
No, but there's so much to answer. Get back to your question you were prodding at before. Is there's a lot of money on the line now. Maddie is we're flying his talented ass down to Canada. He doesn't want to go spearfishing. He doesn't he doesn't want to do that at all. So he definitely didn't do it for free. And I'm juggling sponsorships and weather and visibility and wetsuits and 2 boats that we're renting, and I mean the production, the whole thing. So it's like the weather's good, the visibility sucks. I mean, like we're going in the water. Unfortunately, it resulted in us not shooting a single tog. Like our local legend. Yeah, I mean, like, and it's not exactly always the hardest fish to get. You know what I mean? Especially when you're shooting them. I don't really mess with fishing for them too much, but shooting them, we can. I mean, hell, we went up to Boston with this guy Charlie, but I mean, we could have went 10 minutes from my house and we in 10 feet of water and shot some hogs right in the face,
Right, yeah.
But that's back to the thing, like the show was up there and that's what we were doing and that's what we were planning, and there's all this money and time and there's 12 different people involved, like, so the fact that it wasn't blowing and the sun was out, because it's all these cameras and sound, none of it's waterproof and it's certainly expensive, and so it's like, yeah, man, you kind of got to plan the best you can and have a good team and really have a good pre-production plan. But then, for things that aren't in a restaurant or something, like when you're out in the elements, you kind of have to be able to adjust or cancel 5 days out or something, which is, I think, what we did the one time. But yeah, shit like that. Fuck, I don't get anxiety thinking about it.
Right. So what happened with that shoot that just got shelved? That's never going to be seen because you guys didn't get any, or did you make something?
Well, no, hell no. We threw his big ass in the water and almost killed him, and we filmed the whole thing. I mean, the video is certainly out on YouTube.
Oh, okay,
now.
Okay, gotcha.
You can definitely go watch it.
Okay.
You're not gonna watch us shoot anything.
Gotcha.
But boy, we dressed up like some walruses, that's for sure. Now we got some lobsters and some crab.
Oh, I saw that one with the lobsters. Yeah, I saw it.
Yeah, Charlie, good old Charlie. He got Charlie Nutting, great guy. He was our legend that day. And Maddie being the guest, but he shot a couple cunner, which ended up being an absolutely delightful fish. They get a bit bigger up there.
They're tasty. I've caught some big ones.
Oh my God, delicious!
Really
so me
good.
and Maddie took, and some other guy came and dropped off some scallops that he was diving for, not free diving, like scuba diving for, and he got some diver scallops that he gave us, and we went back with all that stuff the next day and cooked a Making It episode at my house, and it was like one of the best things. We were both really into it.
So, if you don't mind me asking, what does a shoot like that cost the production team? Cost you? Because you are the production team. So
let's just say very big shout out to Dex, the trucking accessory company known for their drawers and rugged, durable cases.
There we go.
For being an amazing sponsor of the season.
So how do you find?
I wouldn't be able to do any of these videos without the brands that I work with. From Yeti to Traeger, Gosney, Dex for sure, man. And, those guys believing in me and investing in quality storytelling and not just like TikTok buzz all the time, long format stuff. I would just be cooking stuff at my house if it wasn't for those guys. Because to answer your question vaguely, it's expensive as hell.
Yeah. And then with some of it, I'm sure it takes them a minute to see a return, right? I mean, it's not like people are just going.
No, I lose money, but I lose money.
Yeah.
Like if it wasn't, I shouldn't say that. That's not true. I mean, like with the budgets of the sponsorships, of course, it's like a business. You put aside, I can't just do it I can't lose money actually. But like if I was
Yeah.
not having a sponsorship, I wouldn't be able to, I would have to produce, I'd be shooting the damn episodes with one person and an iPhone on a gimbal like the rest of the world,
Yep.
because it's that much cheaper. And I would probably be taking some YouTube courses on how to edit and learn how to edit because good editors are huge, man, and they're also expensive.
They're expensive.
I mean, as they should be, dude. I couldn't imagine editing. It takes a special person, man, and it's not for fucking me, dude. I barely graduated high school. I'll be bouncing off the walls. I can't sit there for 12 hours and look at a screen. Like, I don't know. You're gonna have to pay me $12 million.
But it sounds like though that you're heavily involved in the entire production process of it. I mean, were you the one that went to these sponsors, or was that like something your manager did, or did you lock the sponsors down?
Well, I mean, they're brands I've known for a while, man, and I've had long-term relationships and ambassadorships with all of these brands for a bit. So it kind of is a symbiotic thing like that I've been working with, and yeah, I mean, and Carolyn just being really awesome with helping manage it, because like, could I do it all myself? For sure, and talk to all these people, and they already love me. They want to buy into me, right? So it's like, but the idea of having someone to help you facilitate that, who's good at what they do, and gets you out of the room of, and I mean, this is like in the best way, because I love all the people that I work with at the brands, but like to have someone that can help just like facilitate that, and you can just keep focusing on like being you and creative, and and it took a while, man, to be honest. Like, I trust Carolyn totally, right? But like it's a lot, and I still struggle with it to like have someone speak for you, And so it took a while to let go of that, and it's now I'm a bit of a control freak, so like. But if you want to grow, you gotta, work with good people and kind of let go of some things a little bit, it seems.
Definitely. I actually just going on year 11. I just took my cousin on as a partner, and he's
nice,
helping me so much, man. I've had people approach me for to be a partner and this and that in the past, but I mean, I could never really fully trust them, so I just did it all on my own for a fucking decade, and I just kind of reached this point where I'll admit it, I didn't know how to take it any further, and he kind of came in and was like, hey, let's do X, Y, and Z, and this and that, and so yeah, we're bouncing.
Yeah, you can't be good at everything, man.
You can't. And I'm not good at anything. Like, I'm good
and you end up getting burnt out, or just like,
I did get burnt out. You don't want to. I got really burnt out. I almost walked away from the entire thing. I'm like, you know what? I did my thing. Maybe I'll just disappear into obscurity and just teach middle school and have my day job and not do anything cool anymore. Or if I do anything cool anymore, I won't even like tell anybody about it because I don't care anymore. But
I think that's a pretty common story. I think because it's exhausting, man. Like, listen, it's the best job I ever had in my life, and there's about 100 million jobs that are way harder, that pay a lot less, and like, not to undermine how much I've worked at it and built something, but like, I don't want to come across like nagging how hard it is, because like it's a pretty awesome job too. I mean, it's scary. I got a lot of overhead. I got a family and a house and kids and shit. It's not just me posting YouTube videos for fun. This is my livelihood. This is and I don't know. I really enjoy it, man. It's been a hell of a ride. I feel like just getting better at it every year, which is great. So, I always feel like it can all just kind of go away any year, any time. But like, I don't know. I guess that's normal.
Oh man, I guess it's a good mindset, because it could go away at any time. And I feel like the second you get into that comfortable space where you feel like, oh, I got this forever, that's probably when you start to lose it a bit. If you keep treating it like it's new and keep treating it like you got to keep proving yourself. I mean, do you feel like that every episode? Do you feel like you're only as good as your last episode?
No, but I know what you mean. I don't know. Like, sometimes I just shot yesterday, and like, because it's, I don't know, the way I shoot and what I'm doing, it's so I guess it's just mostly like Local Legends is with another person, right? And it's really kind of, the story is really driven by what this person's world is, and not just like me showing someone how to cook something or something like that. So like, there's I mean, if you have a bad one, or you were a little off that day, I mean, like, all types of stuff happens in life, right? To like having to be on in front of a camera trying to do stuff, like sometimes it's just not, it's just not your day. I mean, like,
Yeah, you're just not
I've gotten
feeling
pretty good at. Yeah, I mean, I've gotten, and again, like being my own boss now, I could, if it's that off, I could just cancel. If it's that bad of a day, but like,
it. Right.
I haven't really had to do that. But I guess what I'm getting at is just like, yeah, it's just being like, that's what I think can burn people out. It's because it is, even though, like, listen, I had roofed houses and paved roads before. It's a different type of taxing. Like being in front of a camera or doing a YouTube hustle or an Instagram thing and more content and this and that. It's a lot on your. It's a lot psychologically.
Let's talk about that a little bit. What do you mean?
Well, I mean, just like I think that's what we were talking about a little bit, like people just getting burned out of the business of it too. But like, but also just like I don't know. I guess it can be. I find it like if I do a local legends video and it's fun. We're in Mexico. We're doing a coffee farm. People do this shit for vacation. I get to call it a job. It's amazing.
Yeah.
But like doing it with, I guess it's just me really getting into the video work on like as a career and like and not that it hasn't been for a decade, but like as it really sits in and when it's your own business, like the reality of it hits a lot harder. And like when I'm after like a 10-hour shoot, man, like you're exhausted. And it's just like if you're doing a coffee tour and it's just your buddies, like sure it's tiring, you're walking around, but it's like beyond in front of a camera. And listen, I don't have a huge crew, so we're all overworked and we're all directors and trying to help navigate the story and do this and that and keep keep the video and the story on its tracks a little bit. It's exhausting, man. It really is.
Yeah, no, it definitely is.
But I'm not doing it every day, so it's like again, I'm definitely not trying to complain because it is the best job I've ever had.
No, I don't think it comes off as complaining at all. You're just talking about the reality of it.
And it's just
the reality.
It's just awesome to and it's just awesome to kind of grow at that, and I really like the work of production, like the lighting and the pre-production and coming up with the story and voiceover and stuff and working with talented people and, and being able to turn it into, I'm just stoked people are watching it. We all want to grow and I wish I had, 20 million followers or whatever, you know what I mean? But like, I'm grateful for the amazing fan base we got and just trying to get better at it. And if hopefully it just continues, if I can keep this going, man, heck yeah, that's a pretty good success.
Definitely. I have an idea for this summer, bro. We should take Sway fishing. 3 of us go out. We'll do a local legends episode. We'll go out to Sheepshead Bay, go porgy fishing, and they have the galley on the boat. You could probably get behind the galley, start cooking. I'm sure people pitch you shit all the time, but I think this could be good, dude.
Who was the third person? I missed that.
Oh, Sway from Sway in the Morning.
Oh, what, you buddies with him?
Yeah.
All right, let's go fishing.
Buddies with Sway. Just recorded this guy, Master Ace, who's a big Brooklyn MC. He was one of Eminem's biggest influences. I recorded him for 2 hours. I'm trying to branch out with the podcast. I just want to interview whoever I want to interview. I don't care if it's fishing related anymore. If I think you're dope, I want to interview you. That's kind of where I'm taking it moving forward.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of I get that, man, for sure. Or even just getting people. I know production and it's easy to come up with ideas and a lot harder to pull them all off, especially with people's schedules. I mean, it's one thing to get someone on a phone call, but to get someone on a boat and go fishing, it takes a bit more logistics and all those things.
You got to plan like.
Well, heck yeah.
How?
I love the idea.
Let's do it.
Well, since you're pitching ideas, I got an idea for you. I love the idea of and maybe you already do it, but taking people out as a YouTube video that don't ever really fish. Maybe they're interested in it, maybe they're not, maybe they're willing, but getting people to go catch a fish that they to eat it or something.
I think that's a great idea. I also have an idea. Yeah. I think I've always wanted to use it and feel free to take it. And when I was working with Blacktip, I ran this by them and they loved it. But going into I don't know, a Bass Pro Shop or somewhere and just going up to, having a hidden camera set up, kind of like going up to a random shopper and just asking them, hey, do you want to go fishing with me today? They have no idea who you are or whatever. See what they say. Not everyone's going to say yes, but if somebody says yes, be like, are you sure you're down? Bring them out, have the Sprinter van waiting and be like, yo, you're going fishing with fucking Brad Leone right now. You're about to go out on this boat, like a surprise fishing trip where we just like pretty much kidnap someone from like Bass Pro or like a tackle shop and like totally change their whole fucking day.
Yeah, I think I might be surprised. I don't think I'd say yes to you, just like some weird dude with a hidden camera.
Yeah,
you know,
but the person that says
but that's
yes
the
is going to
thing.
have the best day of their lives. Like,
Yeah, don't listen to me. I mean, I'm wrong and tell people don't do it all the time, and they end up probably being wildly successful. But it sounds like a real challenge to make that show. That person that you end up picking better be entertaining.
better be fucking
They
cool,
might just be
right?
flat. They just might be like a real, wet, soggy sandwich out
Right.
there. And
That would
who
be
knows?
horrible.
Maybe that's the fun.
Yeah, like,
There's something there.
something there, right? Definitely.
Yeah.
Let's talk cooking for a little bit. So, what are, it's kind of like random ADD question out of left field. Sorry, but are there any ingredients that you think are underrated or like underused? Like an ingredient that you find yourself going to that people don't really think of?
I mean, sure. I'm literally the worst at but no, it's just such a personal preference. I don't know.
Gotcha.
But I guess different peppercorns, like besides just
Peppercorn?
black.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of pink peppercorn. I don't think a lot of people use it. It's delightful. It's very different. It's like you get that it's like a little cherry. It's like this little fruity, oily, sweet type of spicy. It's phenomenal.
Cool. Very cool. I've got 3 interviews today. I just had Valentine Thomas before you, and we were talking a lot about sustainability and, specifically with like fish and misconceptions about it. But one question I ran by her was, what are some ways that you think people cooking at home can be more sustainable in the kitchen?
Yeah, I would just try to eat smaller local fish. I mean, I guess just start with local and then maybe venture into some of the smaller things. But I mean, it can't all just be salmon and tuna, and I think, yeah, I mean, I'm a real like ingredient. I don't want to say snob because I'm not like really rude about it or anything. Like I take it really serious. Just the quality of ingredients from anything, especially with fish. And I don't know. Like, I don't care what anyone says. It's not as good usually if it's frozen fish. Not all types. No, man, I don't care what anybody says or how you freeze it. It's not. It's good. You can some fish you can get away with it, man. Big old slabatoro or swordfish. Something with a high fat content. It actually freezes. It freezes very well. But some I don't know. I guess they deep freeze the tuna, and that shit's like phenomenal for sushi. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. But like, I guess to answer your question, it would just be and again, I think it really comes down to your accessibility, right? Like, how can someone in Rhode Island be better at this? Is going to be a different answer than probably someone who lives in Ohio. If it's coming to seafood. I think the best way is to catch your own, whether it's walleye or scup, or whatever you're doing, and then from there just go down the rabbit hole of, what environment is this fish in, whether it was farmed or wild caught, where and what, and then from there it's like who's taking care of it. Like that's where fish goes wrong the most, really, right? You catch the thing, and then it's what you do with it from the time you land it to the time you put it in your mouth is why most people have a bad fish experience. But sorry, I'll drift all over you here. What the question was? Repeat the question.
It's all good. How can like the average person be more sustainable when it comes to what they cook?
Yeah. Okay. Cool. I'm back on track there. I think it would just be to get involved in your local resources in the way of food, like. If perch and walleye are a thing and you want to get into fish, then get into that. You can probably just go catch them. Or like if you live on the coast, like, sometimes the supermarket isn't the best option. If you do a little research, find out where the good fishmonger is who really cares about what they're doing. And, the outcome is remarkable, like the quality in what you get. And then that's just for quality. But then I think it would be also to just, man, eat some smaller fish, eat the bait, eat more bait, man, more mackerel, more squid. I guess to answer this question, and I'm going to go full circle, turn off the ADD for a second. I think squid. Eat more squid, man. I even wrote about it in a book that I made a couple of years back. There was a whole chapter. It's just the most sustainable. I think. Again, I'm no scientist here, but like to my understanding, as the acidification of the oceans seems to be rising in certain spots, as well as temperature, cephalopods seem to be thriving, where a lot of the other fish it seems to be harming them a bit. They grow fast. There's billions of them. There's not like we're not really. I mean, don't get me wrong. If they wanted to, they could probably net all the school. They could probably wipe out the squid if we freaking tried hard enough. But like as of right now, it's a very sustainable fishery, and I think it's absolutely delicious. It freezes. I think it freezes pretty well, and it's just phenomenal. Outside of just fried calamari, it's one of my favorite things to fish. There's a reason why everything eats it. Because they're good. That's like my saying with bait mackerel and sardines and herring and even just like little like stuff and stuff. Yeah, man, just like smaller fish that aren't cruising around just accumulating mercury. That's the big thing with a lot of those, and they're just overfished. But yeah, eat small local fish.
You should do an episode on trash fish where you just catch and cook like trash fish, like sea robin. Sea robin are really good. Have you ever had those?
Oh, yeah, man, a bunch. Yeah, I kind of skirt with it all. I feel like I kind of have been. Yeah, it was the original substitute for cod, I think, right? When with fish and chips over in the UK.
That's what dogfish, that's what fish and chips are. It's all dogfish.
Yeah, probably not too much now, but I think maybe traditionally, it's probably all hake or some fucking horribly frozen fucking codfish. That's another thing. It's just man, if you're lucky. That's the other thing. It's just like a big mislabeling of fish. You're down in Florida, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was down in Florida. Did a really cool video with a great guy. Maybe you know him, Emmanuel. He was fishing on sea. Emmanuel Williams.
What's it called? The jet ski dude.
Yeah, well, I think he was rolling with sea dude, but point taken.
Oh no, I mean like he's he goes out on a jet ski out of Miami.
Yes.
Yeah.
For sure. He just got a boat now, so I don't think we're going to be seeing him on this.
Oh, really? That was like his whole shtick.
Hey, man, I can't.
Come on, Emmanuel.
No, the heck with that. I don't blame him. He's got a nice center console set up now, but he was a blast. But where the hell was I going with this? Down in Florida, we went and got lunch or somewhere, and I was like, oh, I'll get the grouper sandwich. And I feel like most of the grouper that I even looked at, I love looking at fish markets or on restaurants. Like it's all a lot of it's mislabeled. It's not really grouper.
Yeah.
Even the mahi. I ordered mahi one time, and like most people just don't know. And if it's white and they say it's mahi and it's got mango chutney on it, it must be mahi.
Fucking mango chutney.
I get a couple times I've even said it like, hey, listen, like especially if it was an expensive place, I'm like, listen, I'm a pro here, man, but like this ain't what you're calling it, man. And they're like, sometimes they'll just say they didn't know either or something. Not that I go call people out all the time. It's mostly just more an observation. Yeah. But like, that kind of sucks too. So I mean, it's just like, yeah.
No, I've definitely experienced that eating fish down here. I'm like, are you sure this is grouper? What the fuck even is this? But yeah, I mean, you're supposed to just like blindly trust them, but when you've eaten enough mahi, you know when it's not mahi. And it's just like, hey.
Yeah, well, sure. And I mean, that's just back to like, we're getting finding at the fish market. Same with a restaurant, man. Like a good spot with a good chef isn't doing that. It's just like the places where no one cares, and it's fish is fish, whether it's tuna, it's white, or it's salmon.
Yeah. So do you have a most memorable catch and cook experience?
Well, that's a tough one. I mean, most memorable it's a tough one. I mean,
it doesn't even have to be one that was on camera.
I don't have a quick answer, so I guess not. It'd probably be like, I guess the first thing that comes to my mind, maybe something with my dad or something. But like now, I think it was with my youngest son, Callan, and I have two kids, Griffin and Callan. And Griffin, he gets into it too. But my youngest, this was last year, and it was like before school, we went like trout fishing. It is around this time, spring, little trout, and we would go, try to caught a couple trout, and he was just all fired up. he's like a little otter, dude. He just wants to kill it and fucking eat it. And, which is like cool. I got some otter in me too. I play by the rules, everything legal, but I certainly like to eat things. And if we're gonna kill it, we're definitely gonna eat it. That's something that I teach my kids, and something that was instilled in me. But we caught a couple little trout, man, and we brought them home. Well, I cleaned the fish. I cleaned them there, and then brought them home, and we brined them, and we smoked them a couple days later, and they were just awesome. It was just it's kind of like gardening. If a kid doesn't like green beans, get him to grow one, and I bet you he'll be stoked when it finally comes to fruit.
That's great advice.
Yeah,
get them to grow on.
Yeah.
What are some of the? Sorry, what were you gonna say?
No, nothing. I'm just mumbling.
What are you getting into over there today?
What, over at my house?
Yeah, over at the Leone compound.
Oh, you really want to know? Because it didn't go great.
Yeah, I want to know.
I had to go to the DMV this morning.
Oh,
all right.
Shit.
All right. Now I'm going to go on a little rant there, all right, with the administration. All right. Hey, Doge and old dickhead Elon there. But if you want to get efficient at something, fix the goddamn DMV. Okay, pal? Because let me tell you what, that was a horrible experience. I drove 40 minutes. I made a reservation on the computer. This might have been a little bit of my fault. All right, let me rewind a bit. Because I'm getting a new truck and my registration apparently is expired. And like, I don't miss those things. If I get it in the mail, I'm good at mailing those things back. Like boat registration, it's serious business. It turns out you need one. I don't know why I have to give $100 every year, but that's another rant. Don't get me going. Taxation, for Christ's sakes. But yeah, what was I talking about? What kind of rant were we about to go on? Like DMV experience.
Elon Musk needs to handle the DMV situation across the country.
Or not, actually. Maybe he might make it worse. But either way, yeah, I went to the DMV to try to get new registration for my car. Couldn't do it online because it expired before, I don't know, I got like a couple months past when you could do it online. So I had to make an appointment. And I made an appointment. When I pulled it up on the website, it popped the calendar up, and I had made this appointment on Monday. And today's Wednesday. I made this appointment on Monday, and when I popped the calendar up, it brought me right to make an appointment on Tuesday. So I was like, "Oh, this is great. There's an availability." Click, 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 click. I make the appointment. Boom, boom, boom. 10 o'clock. Okay, and then I drive down there today, and they got a cop at the thing, and he goes, yeah, this isn't until April 2nd, your appointment. I'm like, what are you talking about? So they put me at 2 weeks ahead. I should have looked. It's my fault, but they made it really, I'm just pissed off, because nothing got done. I'm going to have to do it again.
I'm sorry, dude. It sounds horrible.
So that's what I did before this call, and I went to Costco.
I'm not going to lie. You sounded a little pissed when you answered. You're like, hello.
Yeah, well, kind of like we were talking about before with videos, like some days aren't the best day to do a podcast, but you know what? After about 10 minutes, really turn it around. Yeah, I might be all over the place a little bit, but we're
fine.
We're past this has been a nice little therapeutic conversation.
Hey, listeners. Thanks for listening to another episode of the Brooklyn Fishing Club podcast. If you enjoy the show and want to rep your favorite show in style, check out our official merch shop. We've got everything from cozy hoodies to sleek jackets, graphic tees, and even backpacks perfect for your daily grind. Whether you're binging episodes or just want to elevate your streetwear game, our gear is made for comfort, style, and showing love for the BFC podcast. Plus, our gear is now shipping worldwide. Head over to brooklynfishingclub.com and grab your favorite one today. Thanks for supporting the show and looking great while doing it. Past the threshold. So...
yeah, and then I went to Costco's since you were asking.
What happened?
And, it's another real love-hate relationship, okay? Like, first of all, the employees are like, my experience, maybe it's just the manager at my local branch, but he's like a little full of himself. Like, he needs to relax a little bit. He's always up in your business trying to get, get to the next level of membership and like kind of being snarky. Like, I wasn't in the mood for that shit, okay? Coming from the DMV. Pal. And I also think like it's a great thing. Listen, hard times, man, money's tight for most people in the world. Access to food is huge, right? and good value is a big deal. But I don't know if all their stuff is always that great. You really kind of have to look for the gems, like their beef selection. I don't know, might be a little sketchy. It's just like big mass packing, and it's not cheap. I don't think it's bad, but like one of the brands was Swift, and they did all. They had all the beef, they did all the pork, and it's just like, okay, well, maybe I should Google what this like Swift processing plant is all about, because it's starting to sound a lot like one of the big five and like just factory farm BS, but maybe with a little healthier. Maybe it was like the ones that weren't going to die next week. They were a little bit better. And, maybe I'm going to get banned from the Costco Mafia is going to come after me. But like, because it also, I think they do a good job with certain. I'm a new membership. I've only been there about 3 times now.
You already have all this feedback.
I'm not sold, man. You get some great. Listen, Sumo oranges by the flat. You can't get a better one cheaper anywhere unless you maybe go to New York City or Boston or something. You know what I mean? Like, and even at that, probably not. So it's got its gems. I don't know. I'm on the fence.
Is there anything else you want to rant about? What else is Brad pissed at today?
Oh yeah, you caught me on a day, bud. I'm really pissed. Well, it's almost no. I'm not going to do this, but we can tickle it for a second. I'm really just fed up with the taxation of the nation, and it's just criminal, bud. But it's springtime.
It's unbelievable.
I'm good at managing my money and putting things aside. Being your own business, there's challenges to that too, right? But it just seems like you're taking a lot of money every step of the way.
At every single turn.
Like, it doesn't really seem to make any sense, but like everyone's just like, well, what are you going to do?
Yeah. Everybody's kind of just like, yeah, what are you going to do?
Well, what are you going to do?
Nothing.
You're going to remember that one guy who like flew his Cessna into the fucking IRS building like 20 years ago?
God bless him.
How like the taxation like made him like close his business and fucking his wife left him or some crazy shit. They literally fucking made the guy into a domestic terrorist.
There needs to be a documentary.
You might want to fact check that. I don't know his backstory. He clearly was suffering some mental illness, which is also
it's called dealing with the fucking IRS. It was probably during the pandemic. He probably lost his whole business. His wife left. IRS is like,
no,
you owe us $100,000. Oh, this is pre-pandemic. All right.
This is a real story. He killed that poor woman.
Oh,
she was just in there like, licking stamps and like, nagging people for $1,100. And so fucking one morning sees he got a Cessna right to the goddamn window.
Turns out she was ironically the happiest worker at the IRS. She like loved her job.
Yeah, she was getting ready to leave. She was fed up. And boom.
All right, well, I'm going to have to make a note to edit out this part about the IRS so the BFC doesn't get audited at 49 minutes.
No, don't worry about that. All right, we all need to stand united here, okay? They're getting away with crimes.
You're right. They are. It's disgusting. I mean, we're laughing about it, but it's fucking disgusking. And so
I'll talk shit. I cover my ass.
Yeah, I'm paid up. I'm paid up. It's cool.
They're really gonna have to, turn the dial up on their tyranny of taxation if they're gonna want to come after me, because I'm pretty zippered up. Scumbags. Look what you did, buddy. I'm not going super political.
Let's not.
But yeah, they're certainly not fixing up my kid's school.
Exactly. No, I've seen every part of the educational system. I started at the Dalton School on the Upper East West Side, wherever it is, where kids pay $50K a year starting in kindergarten. I saw that. I saw the charter schools of inner city Crown Heights, Brooklyn. Now I'm in the public schools in South Florida. And let me tell you, I've seen every fucking angle of this thing, and the whole system is shot. It's
a mess.
It's fucked up.
My sister's a principal, and she did it, she worked at this one school in Hartford where she was a principal there, or maybe she was a first grade teacher at that point, or I forget what point of her career, but every day was like a DIFUS thing, and kids coming in, like things that would make you it's bad for you to have to. It's like watching bad news all day. You know what I mean?
It takes years off your life. I would come home and drink whiskey when I was teaching in Crown Heights. I was like,
the stuff you see and how helpless you are.
You see.
And listen, I bitch about teachers all the time. You know, they got the summer off, but they got all these developmental days throughout the year.
Yeah,
But all
professional
jokes
development. Yeah.
yeah, professional fucking days. What do you do all summer? But like all jokes aside, man, they talk about a broken. You know, I wish my taxes went to like yeah, teachers should be are like cops, man. That should be like a very prestigious job, not just something that is underpaid and you know. And not that all cops are underpaid. I don't want
Oh
to, you know,
no,
but like for the
the
most part,
teachers
like
are
you know,
underpaid. How are you supposed to
teachers
get
are so
good
underpaid.
ones? How are you supposed to get a good one?
And they're raising they're you know they've become like a lot of places there's just like a pre-adult daycare where you're just like
Yeah,
what else are you doing
yeah,
but like but at the end of the day like if we're not investing in our teachers and our youth like that's everything so I mean
it's a
like
major
the
problem.
importance of yeah my god it just seems like it should be a hard job to become a teacher because the pay is so good and only the best people want to do it. But
Right.
it seems to be going the opposite way.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough.
The only people that are out that are really, I mean, you got to really care, you know, because like otherwise it's not like it seems like, I mean, I know teachers that even my sister or, I mean, hell, my bus driver like that we have, like they're buying like arts and crafts to help like do some of their
Oh,
own.
yeah.
Like, why are you spending your own money to like
Going out of your own pocket. I do it all the
crazy?
time. I do it all the time. I do it all the fucking time. And I do it
You know, and
because
like
I do it personally because I care about America. And I never had the balls to join the military and go shoot at people and get shot at. So I always thought the next most patriotic thing
well, they're
to
not
do-
making it very easy to want to do that these days either, are
Yeah,
they?
no. The whole thing is shot, dude. It's
Yeah, we're in a
fucking
pretty
crazy.
weird spot, you know, bud.
It is a weird spot, especially coming out of the pandemic, and you and me are a similar age. I mean, we both saw 9/11. We saw a 20-year war in Afghanistan. We saw the
We've
pandemic.
been in war my whole life.
The whole lifetime that we've been around. Yep.
We've had, you know, like in the, you know, I don't know. It's just, it all just seems like a real big mess, bud. You know, it's just wild. Yeah, I agree. But like everyone you talk to is, everyone, then, you know, it transcends food. It transcends the country. You know what I mean? Like everywhere around the world, people kind of just want the same stuff. You know, like safety, good food. You know, protections from their. You know, if, you know. A home, you know, not have to worry about what you're going to eat tomorrow or whether or not you can afford the electric or, you know what I mean? Like I'm doing pretty good right now, but a lot of folks, man, I remember not doing good. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
shit didn't start like
It wasn't. It wasn't.
I
always
probably
like
should have
this.
been like, yeah, man, I probably, and listen, I never like went too deep with being a loser, but like certainly flirted with it, man. Like I probably should have just been like working for somebody as like building decks or something and making 50K and,
Yeah.
you know, marry some girl I didn't love or some shit. You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
I came pretty
happens
close
all
to
the
being
time.
that guy. Yeah.
Yep.
And like not to, but like, you know, for it to, yeah, I don't know where I was going with that, but like,
I mean,
Yeah.
it happens. It doesn't take much. I mean, the average person, if you don't have like, you know, if you don't have family to fall back on, if you don't have help from an outside source and you're just out here trying to survive, then there's only so much you can do. You might end up marrying the girl you don't really love because that's the best option for you. You might end up building decks for 50K a year because that's the best option for you because
and
guess
there's
what?
nothing, there's
You
nothing
have
wrong
to
with
eat.
that.
Oh no, there isn't. But this is just the reality of it. It's very hard to get ahead, and the amount of work that it takes to get ahead, whether you're working for yourself or someone else, it's a lot.
It's
a lot out
insane.
here. It's a lot. I mean, I can't.
like
I
the
can't go to
luckiest
Publix. I can't go to Publix without spending $100. I go there to get a few things. every single time.
$100, dude.
$100.
I
Yeah,
mean-
we're talking for just one dude for you know
Yeah,
on
100.
like a weeknight where I'm like, oh, I'm going to go get like a pub sub and maybe a few things for the week. And then I'm racking it up and it's like, oh, it's $89.78. I'm like, oh, okay, sure. Take it. You know, like I have to eat. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, man. Well, that's what's like, and like, there's a lot smarter people to talk to about this than me. But like, you know, it's just when my dad, you know, he was one of the hardest working guys I know, and he was, you know, he was a mailman and he painted houses on the side, and you know, like he bought a house, and like, let me tell you what he never made in his entire life was 6 figures. But like now, you can't even buy a house. You can make $100,000 and like still not afford,
Still
like
not be able to get
house.
one.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, dude.
that's kind of crazy. Like $1,000 ain't shit anymore. And like I remember, and almost seems like it's fake or just like one of those like, well, when you were younger, but like $1,000 back in the day, and not just because I was younger, but like it was a lot of money. Like, but like you want to go get like a new refrigerator now, like you're gonna spend like $3,000.
Yeah, you might have to put it on a firm. Like you're gonna have to, like put it on a payment plan. Like it's like,
well, I mean, not to be, not to, but like it's almost like by design. You know what I mean? Like how you're never gonna get ahead if everything, and then you're in that world of debt where good luck with that.
Oh, it's brutal.
Who that doesn't ever benefit is you. I mean, like credit's great and it can really save you, but like, man, what a trap too. It just sucks, I guess, at the end of the day, right? Like everybody seems like they want to work and thrive and stuff, and it's just hard.
So you've done a ton of stuff, man. What's one project or skill that you still want to tackle?
Yeah, I mean, I'm still this video thing, man. I mean, I don't think I nailed it yet. It's hard, and like there's a lot of really great people doing it out there that are doing it too, and like it's awesome, and the creativeness is amazing. But like to also, support your family with it too. There's that, like, there's that pressure too, So it's like I think I'm in no position to try to move past still getting better at this one. Not that that's what you were implying. But I think just really leaning into this more, man, and trying to nail that. I think I do love the idea of eventually maybe doing another book. Like I would do it a lot better and a lot differently. I like the book that I made.
That's interesting because Valentine said that before too. When I was talking to her about her cookbook, she said there was a ton of stuff she would do differently. What's something you would do differently?
Yeah, I mean, I would do it, and my life is different now, and everything's a little different. I have a production company and a studio now. So like, that part would be a lot freaking easier, but also just like creatively, I wouldn't bend as much. I'd fight for more things that I wanted to keep, like publishers are great, but they also kind of suck, Books are tough, man. Like it's a lot of work. You have to do it all, and it can be a really beautiful thing. I had a great experience. I mean, the book did well, and, I made money on it, which was awesome. And turns out not always the case for folks. So, I mean, it was the right time for me to do it, and I'm glad I did it. But it was certainly hard, man. Like people always, when you're doing another book, like after, and I'm like, dude, I don't even want to think about doing that shit again. For like, it took me a few years to even be like, this is a good idea. To like remember how much of a bad idea it is to like trick myself to thinking that maybe it's a good idea again. But that, man, and just like I've always loved the brick and mortar. Maybe I want to try to set up something maybe out here. Not so much as like a restaurant, but like a destination, maybe a Leone and Sons type of pork store family hangout or something on a farm or something. We'll see how that all goes, but that's something I always would love to do something like that. And then just this video stuff, man. I'm doing a podcast coming out, hopefully early this summer. So I think that's going to be fun. I love podcasts. Everybody's doing them, and we're doing one right now.
Yep. And speaking of pork, I'm still waiting on my Leone Taylor ham, man.
Oh, heck yeah, man. I got to see if they're still making that stuff. That was an amazing little collaboration we did with my buddy Elias. I believed in that product so much, man. I thought it was going to take off. I mean, it's the problem is a lot of people don't know what it was. And, my buddy Eli from Lintry Provisions, one of my favorite people, he did an amazing job making another version of like a Taylor ham or a pork roll, that classic New Jersey breakfast shit roll. But that's the problem. Like, listen, I love that stuff, but like, it's the worst pork. It's
bad.
I would hate to see how that sausage is made and what it's made from.
I don't want to know.
No, I mean, don't get me wrong. It's good. I toasted everything bagel, and we're talking. I'd eat one right now. You feel like shit after.
That's all right.
But yeah, we made that stuff with Eli, and he made it with, I don't know if you're familiar with that dude and his charcuterie company and his restaurants out in Portland, Oregon. But like, he makes some of the best charcuterie, I think, in the country for sure. And he uses just, incredible. He really cares, man, about like pasture-raised pigs and like not just a label, but actual pasture-raised pigs.
It's all about the source.
Yeah, man. And like back to like what we were saying with fishing and stuff like that. Like that's the most important thing. Like I've gotten like real like influence from other cultures with that, and just like as I grow as a cook, man, and a consumer of food, just like less is more, and like you can really some very basic or even not so basic sometimes, but just a few basic principles you could do a lot with to just really, I just like letting, not that I'm a lazy cook, but I really just like letting the stuff kind of speak for itself and just kind of help bring it out or pair it with things or just actually just don't cook it poorly or butcher it poorly. That can really, same thing with like venison or I don't like fish or I don't like deer, venison meat. And it's like, well, you probably just had a bad experience with someone who didn't know how to handle the stuff after they killed it.
Yeah.
Killing is the easy damn part,
Right. If you could cook a meal for anyone, dead or alive, who would it be and what would you cook for them?
Oh, God. All right. Dead or alive. Well, yeah, it's a good one. I like it. I guess if I had to put some other thought into it, there's probably a way better answer. Because my uncle, I don't think he was a very good person, but I never met him. He died. My Uncle John. I wouldn't mind having a dinner with him. He was like, he was a bad guy, but I think he could tell. I think just what my dad and my family has told me. It's just like, a guy, like I said, we don't need to go down. I don't know how to, I'll stand in for another conversation, but he wasn't a good man, but I think he would tell some incredible stories over a dinner. That or like, I don't know, like Carl Sagan or something.
Carl Sagan?
Or maybe answer. Forget Uncle John. He was a loser and a bad man. And forget Carl. Carl's too recent and, whatever. I would probably, all right, final answer would probably be to go back to like whoever was the the king or the emperor or whatever the hell they called him when the Egyptian pyramids were finished being built. So I could see them, eat a dinner there, and then ask all the questions that we just can't seem to fucking figure out.
Yeah, like how the fuck did you guys do this?
So whoever the king of Egypt was at the time, pardon my ignorance with that, but I would have
Egyptian history.
Yeah, ancient Egyptian dates and names. Yeah, it would be that person.
So do you listen to the songs I send you, or do you just like them because I send them, or do you actually listen to them?
I listen to probably 65, 70% of them.
There we go. We'll take that. I'm always.
That's just being honest. I
appreciate it.
I haven't been disappointed. I haven't been disappointed with any of them.
I haven't missed.
It's more just like I'll text. It's hard to go back sometimes if I'm not in the mood to look at it. I just won't open it.
Yeah, no, I was just wondering. I'll keep sending them if you want. I'm always looking for new friends to send music to and from, and feel free to send me some too.
I know.
Goes
I do
both ways.
appreciate it.
If someone wants to live a more adventurous food life, what advice would you give them? If they're trying to step outside the box of the shit they eat every week, they're trying to move forward into a more adventurous path, what would you say to them?
Oh, I mean, I struggle with that with my oldest kid now. It'd probably just be to get out of your own way. Or, I mean, does the person that we're hypothetically talking about want to?
Yes, or they want to.
They
want to. They just don't know where to even start.
Oh, okay. Well, that seems easy. Travel a bit or just eat some stuff that you want to try, I guess. Or if it's like a cooking thing, you're probably better at it than you let yourself be. And the internet is a really amazing tool. I mean, like, you could literally learn how to make anything. You could literally go to a culinary school and never leave your house. You know what I mean? Like, especially if you're good at stuff like that. But I guess, if you want to kick up then just go do it, man.
Just go for it.
Just go. Yeah. It sounds like it'd be I'm such a pain in the ass. It sounds like it would be a real case by case situation and problem. But just if you don't like fish or something, just eat some goddamn fish. I don't know.
Just send it. That's it.
It's hard. I've never had that problem. And my youngest, the kid will eat a dozen oysters in 12 seconds. He's like a little otter. He'll eat everything. and I was like that as a kid too. And now, I mean, I don't really eat too many, I don't really eat too many organs. I know they're good for you on a nutritional value. They're super dense, but I don't know, tripe's not really my thing. And I'm not a huge liver guy. Sometimes a little moose or here and there, a little heart every now and then. But to each their own, you know what I mean?
Have you ever eaten a tuna heart? Usually when you catch your first tuna on the boat. You have, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't very good.
Wasn't it a little briny?
Well, I cooked mine
Oh, you
It
cooked
wasn't
it.
on the boat. Yeah, it wasn't like I didn't like take a slice on the boat.
Oh, okay.
Or maybe I did one time. I don't know. But I do remember one time. I think it's one of those things where I think I fucked it up, right? Where it was like, so like back to our thing about picky eaters, we probably just had a bad experience. I think I had a bad experience with a giant bluefin heart. I like slightly overcooked it, and it's not something like I'd almost recommend like making tartare or something. Like I don't like, or just like searing it or cook. You got to cook that thing perfect. You definitely don't want to overcook it. I'll promise you that.
What's one lesson from your early kitchen days that still sticks with you?
I don't know. Early lesson. I don't know, man. The heck have I learned that was early? I guess. Wait, early cooking lesson? You said?
Yeah, or anything. But yeah, I was aiming for an early cooking lesson from the kitchen.
Yeah, right. Cooking lesson in the kitchen. Have a sharp knife.
Keep the knife sharp.
Yeah, it's just
Simple
dangerous.
but important.
It is very important. And then I think it's just like don't be afraid to. I guess this is more advice and less of a lesson. But like, like I screw shit up all the time. Everyone does. You know what I mean? Like I was making an omelet video yesterday, and like the first two, I kind of fucked them up. Like it wasn't great, and like the third one was good. So again, even if you want to like try making some like a pozole, or you want to try making bread, or like bread's a great example. Just keep doing it and keep trying. And sometimes you got to throw it in the garbage because you put too much salt in it and it'll cost you $30. But you know what? Like, or if you're fermenting and you fuck something up, you got to learn the hard way to get good,
Would you say you've learned a lot of things the hard way over the years? Is that your go-to learning style? Because it's definitely mine.
I think I've taken a couple good turns, but for the most part, yeah, I definitely made it a little hard for myself.
Any specific ways you want to go into detail about or no?
Well, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I took my time, like getting my shit together, I guess. In hindsight, I wish I went to college. Like maybe this is just like a grass is greener. And I'm not like a huge fan of colleges. And like, if my kids want to go to college now, I'm definitely not like a parent that's like, got to go to a 4-year college and I'm going to pay for it. Cause like, even if I'm a millionaire, dude, you better have your shit squared away. I'm not paying you to just go party. And maybe I'm wrong, but like, maybe that's
you're not
why
wrong. I feel the same
maybe I'm scarred though, right? Because like the idea, this is like a therapy session. The idea of like going to college as a kid now instead of just going into work and like just doing construction and shit like that and like living with a bunch of people and partying and this and that, like instead of having, even if you did that shit at school, it just seemed like those people made better. And again, this is like a grass is greener and a little ridiculous, but like, you always hear about people like, oh, where'd you go to college? And like, they're friends from college and shit. Like, I don't have many friends. A few of them died, and like, and like couple people I grew up with, I'm still friends with. But like, I don't have that like group of like college friends.
No, me either. I went back when I was 25. I dropped out when I was 19. My dad made me go back.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, I was a college dropout. Definitely. I lasted one semester. I went to Sacred Heart University in Connecticut, play lacrosse, and I thought it was going to be this big, cool experience, and it fucking sucked. And I realized how much money I was going to go into debt from doing it, and I just left and came home and
so much money.
Worked every job under the sun, delivering, catering, every construction, all that stuff. I did it all. You can name a job.
Well, I mean,
I did it.
It was such a weird societal thing in our time where it really the paradigm has shifted quite a bit. Where like if you had to go to college, like I went to community college to become a cop just because I had no idea what I wanted to do, and I was like, well, I've met so many cops that are assholes. Like maybe I can become a cop and like be a good one and like make it like change, like help, like change, like push the needle in the right direction. That didn't work out. Probably for the better.
I could not imagine you being a cop, bro. You'd just be letting. I'd be a great cop. You'd be like, you know what? You just go home. Just go home.
Well, you know what? I mean, listen. If you're a problem, though, if you're driving with your kid in the car and you're all shammed up, man, like your ass is going to jail, pal, and like you're in big trouble. I'd be a phenomenal cop. I'd be a fair cop.
I just can't see it. I just can't even.
I'd be like a cop from like the good old days where like you caught a couple of kids smoking a doobie, You'd be like, just get out of here, boys.
That's,
You know,
yeah, that's what I meant. Like, go home. That's what I meant. Like,
just get out of here, boys. Give me that hooch. Get out of here, boys.
Yeah. Let me try that and see how good it is.
Yeah, give me that shit and take a little whack of it.
Yeah.
I'd probably get fired.
You would laugh.
I see the cop that like. I don't know. Never mind. I'm not going to
No, say it.
No.
Come
I
on.
don't know. It's so bad.
Come on,
But
say it.
whatever. Who cares? We're all just having fun joking. I probably would have been the cop that like, oh my God, no, Brad, never mind.
No, Brad, do it, Brad.
Change gears.
Brad,
No, it's not bad. It's just this is not. We're going to need to do. I probably would have.
It's all right. I
would have been capped.
I was making jokes about slaves on the last episode.
There you go.
So.
That's good.
No, well, not the slaves you're thinking of. It. We were talking about people that become sea slaves and they get tricked into working on these fishing boats and they don't come home for like 3 years. And
Crazy.
I was saying, I have a few buddies that I think would actually volunteer for that gig. But
yeah, I've actually heard about that.
Yeah, there was like a whole. She just sent it to me. It's like a whole New York Times.
They like hold your passport or some shit, and like you're like.
Yep.
You're like fucked, right?
Yeah.
Like people like they'll kill you.
And she was saying they have like recruiting centers, like the same way they like recruit people for the military. They have like fucking like recruiting booths set up in like malls and shit. And yeah, they'll
yikes. So back to like know where your seafood comes from, I guess.
Yeah.
And like that frozen bag of like, and nothing against Indonesia, but kind of vague and like a lot of different like regs and rules and
yeah, none.
Yeah, it's called none.
Exactly.
Yeah, the seafood thing's scary, man. It seems like, and again, I'm pretty uneducated, but it seems like a good portion of the world doesn't really seem to care too much. It's just take.
Yep. That's what they're doing, taking everything they possibly can, and it's a lot of countries from the Pacific, China, India. These people they just take it all till there's nothing left, and then they take more.
You don't see it on like a lot of the media. You don't see a lot of it anywhere, but like. If you look or you talk to people, man, like some of those like offshore right off of like the country's like rights to like fishing grounds, they'll sell them or they'll come up with like these like it's a whole fleet of like factory fishing boats where they'll just come in and just like just devastate. They'll just it's like a 4-year plan, and then when they're done with that area, we'll go over to Honduras or something.
Yep. Yeah, we were talking about Nicaragua. And how Nicaragua, there's like no fish left there. But. Yeah,
well, I mean, I went to Costa Rica a bunch of years back. Pure Vita, great. Everything's you can't even use toilet paper; they're so green. But apparently, they sold all their inshore fishing rights to China. So, like, what the that doesn't seem.
There you go.
Someone just took the money. You know what I mean? And like that's the problem.
Yep, definitely. So yeah, man, what's next for you?
You're down in Florida, but so no more striper fishing for you, huh?
Not really. I'm coming back up though for the month of June. I'm dating this beautiful, smart woman who lives in Hoboken, and yeah, I'm gonna come.
Good old Hoboken.
Chill with her. Yeah, good old Hoboken. I actually,
probably catch him right off the freaking the bulkhead there.
Yeah, dude. I haven't even been fishing like that. I've been just trying to survive. This past year almost fucking took me out.
Yeah, I hear you, buddy.
We're still
hey, if you come up to New Jersey or whatever, if you want an open door, bud, come up. I got a little Grady White little kill wagon.
Oh, dude, let's go. Let's go kill some shit. When we get off this, I'll text you. We'll set something up.
Yeah, I got my my little fishery pretty. Yeah, I got a good idea. I'm pretty dialed on it, and it's such a cool little fishing area too, man. Like right on the border. I can basically see Rhode Island from where I in my house, right? Like, so it's right in between, like westerly Watch Hill there, that whole Watch Hill Reef and Fisher's Island, right in between Lake Block. If I'm standing on my boat there, just right on the shore, you can, it's like 14 miles to Montauk, 12 miles to Block. So we're
amazing.
in
You're in it.
Yeah, dude, we're in it. Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool, dude. It's fucking awesome. Yeah, let's go, bro. Let's harass some aquatic life. Let's do it.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I'll keep the slaughter too. You know what I mean? But like, I'm certainly, I'm good with it, man. I mean, I'm not the problem.
We'll do a little microdose and go catch some stripers.
That sounds like the rest of my spring, summer, and fall.
I love it, dude.
Although I've been really got it. Like,
Dude,
I love catching the bass. I caught my biggest one this year. Sorry, caught my biggest one this year, which was I was stoked about. But the fish I've really been like on a culinary level, just really going nuts for over here. I mean, tog, black sea bass, that's nice, all great. But I love Atlantic green bonita.
Really? I kind of had a feeling you were going in that direction, but I was like, is he going to say bonita? What do you like about him so much?
It's like a little tuna mackerel, right? They're fun to catch. They're beautiful. But the meat, man, if you handle it right, which isn't very hard, it's some of the most delicious meat I catch around here, man. It's sweet and it's just unbelievable texture and color, and they're just an unbelievable eating fish.
What's your favorite way to prepare them?
Anyway, man, they make a great steak right on the flat top. I just kind of gut them and then just cut the whole thing up into like 10 pieces all the way up to the head. Like a swordfish steak or something, or a salmon steak, and then do them on the flat top. That or raw too, man. Just kind of loin them out like a tuna. They got like a similar kind of a rack on them like that, right? Top loin down into the bottom loins there. Little torpedo missile. And makes a great crudo, man, or a great little sushi. Phenomenal sushi. And then just cook them any way you can. My God.
I've had them crudo. It's good. It's solid.
I'm telling you, you cook them
and
on
ceviche.
the bone. And
I've had them as ceviche too, it was good.
Yeah, it seems like it might. Yeah, ceviche would probably be all right with that. I don't know if I've made a ceviche one. It probably would be good. Why wouldn't it be? It'd probably be freaking delicious.
Yeah, it was great. Great.
Yeah, but cooking them on the bone or whole, you kind of can't beat it.
Good stuff, bro. Very good stuff. Very good
Well,
stuff.
heck yeah, bud.
Thank you again for, being a repeat guest on the show. You've always supported the club and always appreciated you. And I love what you're doing. I love following your adventures on the gram. And yeah, man, I would love to come up there and actually finally meet you. I feel like we've been friends for years. We've never met. It would be great to meet you and do a little fishing this summer for sure.
Absolutely, man. Well, hey, like I said, shoot me those dates when you think you'd be able to scoot up here for a little bit. I'm 10 minutes from the slip and I don't have a normal job, so we could probably figure something out if I'm around.
All right, cool, dude. Let's make it happen.
Heck yeah, brother. Good chatting with you, and I'll have to have you on when I get my podcast rocking and rolling. So
I'd love to.
Actually, I can pick your brain and find out your shit.
Yeah, man. I would love that. We'll make it happen, definitely.
Get a Costco rant from you.
Yeah,
you got in Florida?
Yeah, you don't even want to know what I'm ready to rant about. I'm ready. Yeah, Brad. Thanks a lot, man. You enjoy the rest of your day.
Hey, thanks, brother. Talk to you later, man.
All right, talk to you soon. Bye, bud.
Hey, don't you walk on me. walk on me, 'cause I worship the